everything that's going on at the job site. Finally, I said, I'm doing my own thing, guys.
Do you ever find yourself busting out the old knife?
Oh,
I
yes.
still do that shit. And
yes.
I'm like, I'll sit there and be like, listen.
Just, just put it away.
Yeah, like I can't do that no more. Like I can't. It's gotta holster that shit.
A lot of times I do this, like when if I'm in a conversation, I'm like holding my hands, just working with it, because a lot of times I'll be like,
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Think about what's going through your brain. Like I do that all the time.
Yeah, I've also found myself like whenever I'm talking to one of my supervisors, I immediately go to parade rest. And I've been out for fucking 6 years, man.
Sure. Yeah, I know it's ingrained in you.
It pisses me off. Like it makes me so mad. Because they're just in there, hey, we need this kid done. And I'm like, damn it, no, God.
You're like, please, just stop. Like
military bearing, man.
I understand that. Like it was weird for me. Like I actually worked with officers, like so colonels, that kind of thing. I know. So I found out early on in my career that there was actually full-time National Guard. So I started doing that for a little bit. And then the office that I was in, because I came out of AIT and found out a couple months later that I could go do this, Anyway, so I was working full-time and found out there's a colonel that walked in the office. And I literally, I was just at attention. He's like, we don't do that here. And I'm like,
don't do that here.
Fuck. Now my brain's fucked.
Yeah.
And so I worked in the office for 5 years, right? And then eventually moved to Springfield to be able to do that. And it was like this night and day. I'm working with infantry and everybody else is like, why aren't you at a fucking parade? I'm like, whoa, just fucking calm it down.
Dude, and going from that, like when I went to the clinic, I was a corporal, and that's like, let's face it, the worst rank in the Army.
Yeah.
Literally the worst.
I don't know why anybody wants to be a corporal.
I didn't want to be. It just got thrown on my chest. It was bullshit.
That's what happens. Yeah.
I was promotable for too long. They were like, here's some stripes.
The last couple years, a couple guys, they got thrown the corporal.
Get the fuck off me.
They're like, why do I need it?
Yeah. I don't want this. But, but it gets to your head. And then I got to this clinic and I had an E2 come up to me and just be like, hey, corporal, I need the, and I'm like, motherfucker, hey, corporal, just chilling. Like, what do we just back up? Like, you're just going to come into my office and just fucking, and I lost my shit. And so then my master sergeant comes down and he's like, hey, because he comes in my office and I snapped a parade rest. He's like, dude, listen, chill. Like, we're not in an infantry unit anymore. Can't do that.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, I miss being in an infantry unit, though. The fuckery and shenanigans. Oh my God, it was fun.
I had fun.
Just fucking with people all day.
So what is one of the big shenanigans that you ended up doing with people?
Oh, buddy.
Like how would you fuck with somebody? I'm just curious.
Well,
because I know there's a lot of different ways to fuck with people. I get it.
So I had there was two brilliant ones that I absolutely fucking loved. Medics have the FLA as a field line ambulance, right?
Yeah.
At the time I was senior medic, had to do all the maintenance on one of the FLAs. I got 2 brand new privates. Guess who got to do all that maintenance? Them sons of bitches. And you know what I made sure they did? I made sure they swapped out the winter air for summer air and all the tires.
God.
Now, mind you, this is in Hawaii where it's fucking 75 to 85 degrees year round. Like, it doesn't matter. And so when they're sitting there, they're like, why do we need to do this? I'm like, well, the summer air condenses or it expands. And so when winter happens, that air will shrink and then the tires will be flatter. So you have to replace it with winter air. And I'm just straight faced as fuck the whole time. And they're like, Roger that, specialist. And so then my first sergeant comes up and sees these 2 brand new privates with this FLA up on jacks. He's like, what the fuck is going on here? And they're like, Specialist Harris told me to replace it. And I ended up putting the air back in the tires and putting them back on the FLA. Worth it. 1,000% worth it. Next one was this private that I got. He was not in the Army long because he was a total pile of dog shit.
Okay.
We had these barracks that were old apartments, like they were old on base family housing.
Sure.
And they had that like strip of grass in between each of the driveways. And all he had to do was mow this little strip of grass. He was the only one that lived in this apartment complex.
Okay.
Or in this little like apartment itself.
Yeah.
So my first sergeant came up to me and was like, Doc, your soldier is fucking up. And I'm like, God, like again, like this asshole 2 days prior wore his ACU poncho in PT gear before. And I'm just like, dude, he was a special boy. So he wouldn't mow his fucking lawn.
Okay.
This strip of grass. I went to him and I said, listen, blank, you need to mow this grass. And I find myself doing it. So I went to him. I was like, you need to mow this fucking grass, and he just didn't do it.
Okay.
And so then another week went by. First sergeant came up, Doc.
Yeah.
Grass still ain't mowed. So I went to, what is it, the MWR? Oh, you're a National Guard. I think it's the MWR or whatever the fuck it is there on post where you get like the lawnmowers and shit like that. So I got a lawnmower. I got him the gloves, the eye pro, the ear pro, all the PPE. I even got him a goddamn PT belt and said, listen here, this will be done by the end of the weekend. It wasn't. And so then I'm like, all right, motherfucker, I got you. I called a couple of my buddies that were at the barracks. He was not there. He was down in Waikiki partying.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Private.
I gotcha.
All right. You want to play games? I got games. I showed up at 06:30, pounding on his fucking door, yelling at him to get in uniform. This was on Monday, so it was a duty day. He just didn't have PT because he was a line medic. And I yelled at him to get into uniform. He got into uniform, and then I brought him outside, and I said, we're going to cut this grass. And he saw the lawnmower and everything, so he's like, God damn it. Started putting, I'm like, and he went to go start the lawnmower. I'm like, no, Private, no. You don't get to use that. You had an opportunity to use that. And I brought out trauma shears. I don't know if you know trauma shears. They're about that fucking long. And I was like, you're going to cut this strip of grass, and I'm going to sit here in my lawn chair, and I'm going to drink my coffee. This was before the Army got soft. For anybody sitting there saying like, hazing, shut up. You're weak, and you're the reason the Army's failing.
It's called fucking fun, okay?
Yeah, like, I will tell you, it was great just sitting in that chair, just, all right.
Please cut more. Keep going.
You missed the blade. Like,
you need to go back.
Yeah, that was my favorite. And obviously, you know, like sending people for pricky sixes and ID10Ts, blinker fluid.
Oh, yeah, you did the blinker fluid?
Oh, fucking yes. Blinker fluid. I had a bunch of Riris in my platoon, man. I was able to do the blinker fluid all the time. The emissions checks with the trash bags. I always loved when I saw like brand new privates walking